House of the Dragon shocked fans with its amazing season finale. Fans who were expecting to see the show return to their screens anytime soon might be in for a surprise though. Production for Season 2 of the series is underway, but it might take a while before we get to see it. Today, we'll look at everything we know about the second season's production and a lot more, so let's dive in. First off, when was the second season renewed? If you haven't been keeping up with your House of the Dragon news, then details about the second season's confirmation might have slipped under your radar. But it's true, Season 2 of the highly anticipated Game of Thrones prequel has been confirmed. This happened almost immediately after the first episode came out on HBO Max. It's clear that the reception that the show received from fans was proof enough for HBO that the Game of Thrones franchise was very much alive and well. And let's be honest, we all had our doubts about the House of the Dragon before we saw it. Considering just how bad the original series ending turned out to be, it's no surprise that people weren't exactly on board for another series set in the same universe. But as it turned out, the show wasn't half bad. In fact, it was pretty good. Goes to show the difference that competent writers and showrunners can have on a series, doesn't it? So far, we've gotten no confirmation of the show's fate after the second season. But George R.R. Martin, the writer of the Fire and Blood books, stated that he can easily see the series going on till at least 4 seasons, each of 10 episodes. So that's probably what we'll end up getting, assuming HBO doesn't have a change of heart halfway across the show. Next, what changes can we expect from Season 2's production? One big change that's happening behind the scenes is that co-showrunner Miguel Sapochnik is apparently stepping down. If you're a longtime fan of Game of Thrones, you might have instantly recognized who this is. Miguel worked as a director on numerous episodes of the original series, and many of those became the best the series had ever seen. Yes, we're talking about the Battle of the Bastards and the Winds of Winter. Considering how vital his role was in the prequel's development, his departure will definitely have an enormous impact on the production of the show, even if we don't see it play out on screen as much. As far as his directorial duties are concerned, Alan Taylor will step in to take over. He's also had quite a bit of experience with Game of Thrones, so fans shouldn't worry too much. Sapochnik is also apparently leaving on good terms. He stated that his departure is more of a personal thing and not because of any external factors. He's just spent so much time working on the Thrones series that he felt like it was time to move on. Hopefully, the groundwork he's set for House of the Dragon manages to pay off. Plus, here's how the story will progress in Season 2. The second season of House of the Dragon is going to bring in a lot more fire and blood. And how could it not? After that shocking finale, it's clear that an all-out war is the only way things can go from here. Season 2 will officially start the Dance of the Dragons, and will feature the Greens and the Blacks fighting against one another for the Iron Throne. We'll also likely get to see a side to Rhaenyra that many fans might not have expected from her. Within the span of a few hours, she just learned that her father had passed and that her throne had been usurped by her half-brother. Plus, she just lost her daughter because of early labor and received news that her son was killed. With her going through all that in such a short time, the resultant anger is probably going to match the likes of Daenerys. And we all know what she ended up doing back when she got mad in Season 8 of Game of Thrones. While Season 1 of House of the Dragon served as a prologue, setting up the characters and the politics of the realm, we can expect Season 2 to dive headfirst into the main portion of this meal. We'll get to see the interesting battles in action that the Fire and Blood books are known for. Oh, and we can say goodbye to those annoying time jumps too. Moving on, which new characters are joining the series? With the story progressing further, we're likely to meet a bunch of interesting new characters in the show's second season. One of the most anticipated characters among fans who've read the books is Cregan Stark. He's the Lord of Winterfell and the Warden of the North. One of Rhaenyra's sons, Jace, was sent as an envoy to make sure that House Stark is still allied with the Queen. The second season should also introduce us to Jane Arryn, the Lady of the Eyrie. She's known as the Warden of the East, and we're definitely looking to see the role she'll be playing in the series. Daemon made sure to mention all the dragons that Rhaenyra's side had at their disposal, but what good are dragons without someone to ride them? Season 2 of House of the Dragon will introduce us to some new dragon riders like Nettles, Ulf White, and Hugh Hammer. We should also mention just when the show may be returning. If it were up to us, the show would continue to air every Sunday until the end of time, but unfortunately, we'll have to wait quite a bit before the second season graces our screens. HBO wasn't sure if fans would respond well to the prequel, so they held off the production of the second season until the premiere. It's only after the first episode got a record-breaking response from fans that HBO decided decided to greenlight Season 2, and so the second season is very much in the early stages of production right now. If we had to guess, filming for the show should start sometime in 2023, probably in spring. This could go on for at least 6 months, since the show is shot at a number of different places across Europe. Also, let's not forget that post-production is an entirely different mess too. With more dragons set to appear in the coming episodes, we're sure the VFX work that will have to be done will require more time. With all that said, we definitely don't think the show's coming back before 2024. Luckily, there are some other Game of Thrones projects in the works that may keep us company until then. The Jon Snow sequel and the Princess Nymeria prequel are just a few of the many things HBO is currently developing. And with that, let's discuss some of the best performances in House of the Dragon. Starting off at number 5, we've got Emily Carey as Queen Alicent. Queen Alicent Hightower is a very interesting character. In many people's eyes, she's the central villain of the story, but it's hard to be completely against her, and much of this is because of the great acting by Emily Carey, and also Olivia Cooke, who plays the older version of her. Both actresses have brought in many nuances to the characters with their performances. We've had to add Alicent to our list because of the way she portrayed her character's duties while still having a childlike innocence. Next, at number 4, it's Rhys Ifans as Ser Otto. Rhys Ifans played the Hand of the King, Otto Hightower, and all throughout the series, you can see this guy scheming and weaving political plots. You might hate this character, especially if you support Rhaenyra, but you have to agree, Ifans' amazing performance is definitely worth a mention. Moving on to number 3, it's Matt Smith as Prince Daemon. Matt Smith could make Daemon a very layered and complex character. All throughout the series, we could never fully understand if we supported him, were against him, or were just straight up attracted to him. Daemon is definitely no hero. He murdered his wife, took his underage niece to a brothel, and remained a huge pain in his brother's back the whole time. But everyone still has a soft spot for the rogue prince, and we think that's largely thanks to Smith's great acting. Next up on number 2, it's Emma Darcy as Rhaenyra Targaryen. Both Millie and Emma played Rhaenyra flawlessly, but ultimately, we had to go with Emma, especially after how amazing she was in the finale. Even in a scene with no dialogue, she was able to add in so much emotion. Within seconds, we saw her character go from sheer sorrow to burning anger, and we're eagerly waiting to see what more Emma will achieve in the second season. Finally, our number 1 spot goes to Paddy Considine as King Viserys. Paddy Considine absolutely nailed the role of King Viserys. Even George contacted the actor after episode 8, stating that the show's version of Viserys was better than even his own. Now that's a compliment. Paddy perfectly showed the struggles of a king trying to keep the realm in place, while dealing with the nearly endless supply of family politics. Plus, seeing him become afflicted with his illness more and more, each episode was heartbreaking and a beautiful portrayal of the character at the same time. That's a wrap for this video. What are you looking forward to seeing the most in House of the Dragon's next season? Comment below, give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.